Good evening, afternoon, morning, depending on where you are. I did a bit of a shorter countdown because I started a bit later than planned. That happens sometimes. Welcome in wherever you are. Today we're gonna do a retro gaming stream again, and it's another one in my series of the first years of. And today it will be the Tandy Color Computer, or as it was originally known, the Radio Shack TRS-80 color computer, later changed to the Tandy Color Computer, which is the name that most of us know by now, or CoCo, as it's lovingly called. As some may notice, I'm wearing a shirt from CoCo Talk, a weekly podcast about the CoCo and a number of machines that are related to it, the MC10, the now I have to think, the Dragon 32, Dragon 64. But today we're specifically looking at the CoCo, and that's the CoCo 1, CoCo 2, which are not that different. I'm using an emulator here, or rather I'm using, not an emulator, I'm using the MIS FPGA with a core for the CoCo 2 for most of the games, but there are a number of games that won't run on there that I do from disk. Hi Oniva, welcome in on. A number that run from disk that I will be doing on the so-called real CoCo core, a basically CoCo 3 core. Exactly, Curtis. Welcome in, Curtis. I did not think that you wouldn't be in today. That would be a surprise if you hadn't been in. I never count on people being here, but I knew you knew this was coming. One warning beforehand, these cores both have their issues, so I will sometimes have to restart the Mister, reboot the Mister in between games, because the cores both work perfectly for most games, but they sometimes don't clear memory correctly, so then I sometimes have to restart the CoCo, of the Mister, and therefore the CoCo to be able to go to the next game. In those cases, I might temporarily lose connection to the microphone and will have to do something about that. But if that's the case, I will keep an eye on it and will set it correct as soon as possible, of course. Okay, we start with the first of our games. First of all, this is what you get to see. This is a bit newer version, of course, of Color Base, extended Color Base from 1982. The machine is from 1980, the original CoCo. But you would get something similar to this when you start the machine. It runs in BASIC. But today we're going to look at games, as I said. We start with a number of cartridge-based games on this CoCo core. And we'll see what it is like. Some are better than others. And sometimes it won't run. That's also a very nice thing with these cores. They usually work, but sometimes I just have to restart them and hope that I get it working. See, second time it works perfectly. It's just like in the old days, sometimes stuff would work, sometimes it wouldn't. Now there is one thing I want to do here. Now in this case it's not important, but for later on I will disable artifact because that doesn't look that good on a screen. Yeah, okay. Backgammon, old classic game. Now, of course. I know, but you still had to reboot before you started a new game anyway, yeah? I probably have to swap joysticks, exactly. That is another issue with CoCo, that it shares with the Commodore 64 quite often. You never know which joystick port the programmer decides to use. Okay, I get a 6 and a 1. Now, as I said, sometimes it works at once, sometimes it doesn't. What's the matter? Do I have to... No. Why is it not reacting now? Because... Ah, it uses cursor keys. That works too. And then you use... Ah, yeah, it was up and down keys for selecting what you want to do. Backgammon, old classic board game. For those who don't know, the idea is to get all your stones out of the board. Hi, Suits. Aww. That's a shame, Suits. And they couldn't even do a decent movie for you. Welcome in, mate. I'm all the more glad that you decided to come in anyway. Welcome in, mate. How are you doing? Same for Kurt, of course. How are you doing apart from having to work? I don't always include board games in set, but the CoCo has a few pretty decent early ones. And I do like a game of Backgammon. I played it quite a lot in the past. Hi, Edwin. Welcome in. How's things in Norway today? Ah, you got a sore arm. Okay, well, if the sore arm is the worst part, Curtis, you're not off too bad, I guess. But let's hope that's all you get from it, eh? Well, that and protection, of course. On the default level, it's beatable. Hi, Exile in Paradise. Welcome in. Let's put it this way. I can sometimes beat it, not always. Hi, Wen. Welcome in. How are you doing? Ah, that's good, Curtis. And you should be okay, I guess. Let's first of all do this. Slow my opponent down, and then the big question. There's of course an issue with this board. The colors aren't correct. Normally one would expect exchanging colors between the two points, but they have of course a limited color palette. That was an issue with the CoCo. Ah, nice. Everyone getting their COVID vaccines. Good. Here in the Netherlands, we are not the fastest. We are a bit behind, although there are worse countries, I understand. But no, that won't work. Oh, and there are countries where it's way worse than here, believe me. I've heard something from a few friends of mine. No, that won't work, duh. Because of there's no color difference between the two sets of points, I have a bit of trouble making sure how many points I go. See, when? That's Norway is further behind than we are, clearly. You could, yep, indeed you could. Now in this case I am using a CoCo 2 core, so it would be a bit harder, but yeah. Okay, it knows to protect itself, that's at least clear. But while I don't play as often as I used to, I still know a bit about how to play this game. I used to play it very regularly. This one. but don't anymore really. I used to play it online on FIPS, first internet backgammon server. Ah, that's unlucky. It got the one way it could get me. And that's all I can do. Okay, Oniva, have a good lurk on. Okay, it misses. That was all I could hope for in this situation. Hey, Pixels. And it's enter, I think, yeah. Welcome in, how are you doing? The game in itself is not that hard, but it's more about the tactics that are hard. It's same like checkers. Checkers in itself, the rules are very simple. But trying to win is a different story. That was wrong, of course. I need this one. Well, I should, yeah, I win this first game at least. I'm not gonna do a second. It does have a doubling queue, but I honestly don't know the key for that at the moment. I have seen it. No. I've seen the computer double actually. But I only go for the one game. The game is not smart enough to for me to be able to combine two dice in one roll and one move, so I have to do the double move on the one part. But oh well, if that's the worst thing it does. At least it allows me to do the moves in random order. I've seen computer games where you had to do the first one first. Yeah, I actually saw that one, Curtis. It was kind of funny. Now, in theory, the computer could still win if it rolls a double 2 or better. But it doesn't, so I win this game. And with that, I get to 1 point. And we'll leave it at that. But it's a pretty decent version of Backgammon. It's not up to, of course, the new Backgammon current versions or such. But it's pretty decent. And it looks better than you would expect with the limited color. Is it dollar to double? Okay, yeah. Yeah, except it doesn't. Oh, yeah, of course, it doesn't allow me at that point. But yeah. We'll go to another game, which means I have to hope that it does it correctly in one go with reboot, that it empties the memory this time. It seems to have. Okay, that's good. Now, this next game I am adding, even though it's basically unplayable with the current situation. The problem is that the CoCo, as so many computers back in the day, uses an analog joystick, which are very nice. Means that you can do good placement of your exact position. But that was an analog joystick that ran to the corners completely. Modern analog sticks on, for instance, this 8-bit Do controller or other controllers have an issue that if you go with the analog stick to the corner, it only goes partway there because it's a circle gate, while the old-fashioned analog sticks had a square gate. which means that it's very hard to reach corners, and often you can't. But I will give a short demo because this is something that you don't often see. I haven't seen this in any other system yet, and of course I have to swap joysticks, probably, yes. Trick is, it's basically Pong, but you defend your own castle. And as you can see, it's a very precise with joystick, but I at least got a few points, but I will lose this very easily, I know that. I'm at the bottom, by the way, in case you were wondering. But here is the point, I cannot get completely to the corner here, for instance. And that was stupid. But it's an interesting variation on Pong that I hadn't seen on any other system before. Yes, I know Warlord, but that still looks somewhat different. It's more a... that's the one with 4 corners, I think, eh? I have seen that one too on other systems, but a two-player version with Pong like this. This is more, if I had a better joystick option, this would be more playable, although still difficult than Warlords would be, because Warlords is very hard to play, especially on with a modern controller once again. Ah, come on. Yeah, for those who don't know, Curtis is quite an expert when it comes to the CoCo. Curtis also advised me on games for this, because he could tell me quickly what was made in 1980 and 1981, and I could select from those. Now with the cartridges, it wasn't that hard for me to select, because they were actually dated in the library that I used, but the discs were not, so I had to, make do without that. But thankfully Curtis gave me a nice list a few months ago, actually, when I started talking about that I wanted to do this stream too. Come on. This stick is just not precise enough for this kind of game. But I understand from Kurt that even with a real good analog joystick, it's still hard to play this, and it seems that way. I actually get closer than I got in the practice rounds that I did to test the game, because then I was already down when there was still at least half the castle remaining from my opponent. So either I'm getting used to it or I'm lucky, or both. Oops, that was the wrong direction. Yeah, okay. I lose it, but I got a lot closer. Hey, Cat Lord, welcome in. My newest follower. But yeah, it's a fun game. I would. I don't know, Curtis. According to. Hey, Excellent Paradise. Thank you for following. According to the cartridge title, it's from 1981, so it would be late 1981 then probably. But I had to go by the title, by the name there of the file. Yeah, of course I have to restart. That's the wrong thing. I have to restart the core at least and hope that that's enough. Yeah, we go for another board game. Yeah, it's a pretty damn good game. Way better than I would expect for such an early game. Now this one is, I had to check on the key code for this one, cause so I had the manual in there. I can choose the colors. This looks a bit better, I think, than this color, so I go for this one in this case. And the level I choose with the L, that was it, yeah. I might still lose even at level 1, because I really stink at checkers. And then it's with the cursor keys I can move. And I think it was enter to move a piece, yeah. So I play with blue. Ah yeah, it automatically selects a piece that you... But yeah, this was a very early release for the CoCo indeed, as Curtis also says. It was indeed one of the 1980 games. And I keep forgetting that it all pre-selects a force move, so I don't have to select that one. It's a bit weird because you use the cursor keys in a bit of a weird way. It's basically rotated 45 degrees compared to what you would expect. No, the other way. As mentioned, I stink at this game, so don't expect me to win. Although I did win one game against the computer, but at this lowest level. Hi Rata, welcome in. How are you doing? As you see, it pre-selects, basically telling me, hey, you have to move, and now I have a problem, because of course this will hit too. I always forget one other thing with checkers compared to dames as we played over here in the Netherlands. In dames you also can take a stone backwards, not in checkers. In checkers it's only forwards unless you have promoted your stone. And even then you can only move one square at a time, where in dames you can actually move go a longer line then. Yes, you can multi-jump indeed, yeah. That's the same with dames, but it just plays a bit different. And while I also stink at dames, I would think even more at this version, but they made a decent version of this, and this is the lowest level. I've seen that it plays quite strong at a higher level. It plays nice and quick, I like that. I forgot again that... why do I keep forgetting that it auto-selects that one? High Instinct! Welcome in, mate. It's getting busy in here, guys. I made a mess of this. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, that will not be today though. Today is only CoCo, but that will be on Saturday, Rata. But thanks for the reminder. Saturday will be another random and audience requested games. What happened here? I thought I was... Ah, okay. That's what he did. I wondered what he was doing there. In this version, this is safe. Of course, I have one issue now. I will leave that square unprotected. Oh well. This should be possible now. Yeah, that one is promoted, but I have a guaranteed promotion here too. No, the other way is smarter, I think. That's a bit much indeed. I agree, Rata. Now, if this were dames, I would be able to take that zone, but oh well. It's not, so we have to do with this rule. Thank you. Which one are we gonna get? I get to choose now. Ah, that's mean. He got me. I took the wrong one. Because with that promoter zone, he can take both of them. Whoops. Why do I do that? As I said, I'm not very good at this game. It's not just modern video games I'm not good at. Hi, Sigabjorn. Welcome in. We're having a look at some very early CoCo games today. Now, apart from Curtis and Cat Lord, who else has experience with the CoCo here? I'm sure there are fewer here. Yeah, Exile in Paradise. I kind of guessed that. Sorry, I forgot to mention your name because it was clear you do. I knew there was someone else, I just couldn't think. You know, old age and such, over 50. My first one I saw... When was that? About 3 years ago, when the Home Computer Museum in Helmond opened. That was the first time I saw a CoCo up close. I had seen a Dragon 32 in my youth, because there were 1 or 2 around in the Netherlands even then. How far can we get with this? No, let's go around here. That's a bit far around. Okay, basically the computer doesn't know what to do now, so it goes back and forth with the same stones. Okay, that's an interesting move. Is it going back now? No, it isn't. Okay. The CoCo wasn't that big over here. It was relatively big in the States, of course, and there were some of the Tandy computers were sold here. Ah, yeah, okay, then you will have seen it indeed, Cat Lord. Now, there were some sold here, but that was mostly the northern part of the Netherlands and the western part of the Netherlands, not so much in the south where I was from. Yeah, well, as some of you know, most of you, not everyone, I started with Timex Syncler 1000 and then went to the ZX Spectrum. And I, in those days, played with a lot of different computers, including the C64, the Dragon 32, and later also BBC Micros. I remember also having a quick go at the Acorn Atom and really disliking the BASIC on that one. And then there was the MFP, the microprocessor, but I can't think of who made that one. Okay, now this is interesting. I do think we get a bit of a stalemate here, but we'll see. Ah, okay, I have to take that one now, and he can take me back then. Yeah, my Timex Syncler 1000 was made in Portugal, in the Timex factory in Portugal, and it was a PAL one. Then I went to the Spectrum. Yeah, there was actually, we did have Tandy stores here, Radio Shack stores here, even back in the day. Mooncat, welcome in. And in high school, when I first went to the computer club there, we did actually have TRS-80s Model 1 and one Model 3, and there was also Model 3s used in the administration of the school. But then later we went to BBC Micros in school. Why am I going all the wrong way there? What are you gonna do now? As I said, this looks a lot like a stalemate. Yeah, I know that type too, Edwin. And I also, by the way, yeah, another computer I worked on a bit was the Texas Instruments 994A, which was a decent computer, but had one disadvantage. The basic was not that strong. They basically, if you wanted to use that one, you needed the extended basic, because otherwise you couldn't use it. Ah, I made a mistake there. Yeah, I lose this one. Oh well. Whatever I do, I lose this zone, so... The chances of me winning this were 0 from the start, and now they are really 0. Yeah, the pet was just a bit before my time. Hi, Teal. Okay, well, good luck. Nice for you to even come by, because I know you two are working. Yeah, we won't go on with this, because this is a lost game, of course, but it's a pretty quick. And of course I have to reset the machine. You also couldn't just take out the cartridge and put a new one in the original one, of course. But yeah, this is Color Baseball. I know it says copyright 1982, which is kind of interesting, because it's listed as a 1981 game for some reason. So I'm not quite sure if it is correct that I play it, but oh well. I need to swap joysticks, of course, again. Exactly. That's the one thing we don't risk with our current machines. Hamster PCW. I remember those ones. I know, there weren't many games, but there were a few. Oh, come on. I always forget that we have an analog stick here. Why did I throw it there? I have no idea. Okay, for some reason it wouldn't throw. Yeah, that's what you would think, but for some reason it doesn't exactly do what I expect. But yeah, the PCW was absolutely not designed for gaming. Okay, at least one out. And sometimes I'm not quite sure about the choice it makes. Which person? Hello, Mr. Buck Owens. Welcome in. Why does that not surprise me, Buck? Oh, Mr. Clive, or later Sir Clive Sinclair, also had his opinions about games. Why is it not? I was holding the direction, but it didn't throw. The Synthesizer Spectrum, he also didn't think that it was should be games. He really disliked games on computers. Oh, that was a Borg, I guess. Okay, I didn't see it that way, but yeah. Okay, well, they're out. I'll try one round at bat. One inning. I must say I like this game. It takes a bit of getting used to with the controls, but it plays quite well. Yeah, you can switch sides actually if you want, so you can be left or right-handed. And I forgot that it also throws balls at times, like this. Okay, that's a quick out. Yeah, that's also an out, of course. The timing is my biggest problem with this game, but that's more my problem than the game. And that just takes practice, as so often with these kind of games. But I like what they did with the graphics. It's limited, but they did what they could. You know, it's a lot better than, for instance, an old Spectrum version that we saw on the Sinclair show by Amigos a while ago. I keep forgetting to reset the machine first. Oh yeah, the 2600 Intellivision versions are basically, well, too blocky. Okay, this one is a bit of a different kind of game. You can play with up to 4 players. As you can see, it's they take turns. I'll go for combination and we'll set the short limb. Now, I hope I remember the keys correctly, or I can actually do it. Yeah. If it were 18 plus, I would use another word for crap, but yeah. I was being nice today. I sometimes am. Not too often, but it does happen. I might as well do this with the keyboard. Now, this is a word game. And as some of you know, I like words. And, oh yeah, the default, the first one is played automatically. Yeah. It doesn't have a... it doesn't have a library of words, so you have to tell it if a word is indeed correct. And of course, in this case, I'm playing solo. But we saw a lot of these kind of games, of course, in the day. It was easy enough to do. Indeed, but they came a bit later on. And for early game, this is actually not that bad. I could imagine this being fun if you were playing with a number of people. I gave myself the shortest time, so at least it's a little bit of a challenge. That's, by the way, an interesting issue here too. Because the way the core is made, I always get the same words to start with, the same letters to start with. Now later on it changes a bit, but the first set of letters is always the same because the random number generator is always at the same point, I guess. No idea, Teal. But you know I like my word games. Almost as much as I like my trivia games. But we saw a lot of these kind of games back in the day. As I said, this would probably be more fun if you were playing with multiple players. At least you could make it into a competition. Who got the best scores. Bit like Scrabble. I like words, yep. That was stupid. I could make a way better word with that. Which I will do now. Okay, you get the idea. It's basically a very simple word game. But it's really a multiplayer game. That goes for a few of the games I will show today. Most of them are okay single player, but there are one or two that are really multiplayer. Okay, now, yeah, it loads actually. Wow. I actually have more problems with Dutch words nowadays, Curtis, than with English words. At times. Wait a second, I do enter, then I can do it with the keyboard. Yeah. Okay, now you see the issue there with... I have a bit of time. What I do now, I prefer actually to play this without artifacting. Because then I get a nicer picture. Artifacting would be very nice if it were played on a old-fashioned television, CRT. Okay, it was... Now I'm trying to think what the key was to restart it. Was it... Home, that was it, yeah. I don't play this very well. But I like with that. Of course, it has a few limitations compared to the original Asteroids. You are working on a pixel-based screen instead of a... that was bad, sorry. Instead of a... okay, Frank. Talking about words. I don't think Gwen has made the words command yet in my channel. She was gonna, but then she couldn't at the time. But the one thing that is, you have only 8 positions basically in which you can shoot, which is a bit irritating at times, but it works. It's a pretty decent game. And the word, of course, I was looking for was vector-based screens. Is it 16? Yeah, you're right, 16, sorry. Ah, thank you, Wen. See, there are reasons why you have moderators. As always, I do this every time, but please make sure to follow them if you don't yet, because they are very fun streamers by themselves. Thank you, Teal. And they're great friends. We go on relatively quickly to another game. Now, this was a bit of a problem at first, and I have an issue here. I have to do something first. I forgot about that. Because this game needs 2 joysticks, which seems a bit weird for a simple we skipped that, or was it undefined? Yeah, space. Yeah, unless you played it on the keyboard, which you thankfully could do with Microbes. Yeah, they that was indeed a thing. I got the wrong key there, defined earlier. I actually have to do this again, because I realized I did the wrong thing. Okay, Wen, thank you for coming by. Have a good night, and see you tomorrow, I hope. Sweet dreams. And thanks for coming by as always. We don't have analog sticks on this one, but I only use it for the one key I need on this one. So now I should be able to do this. Let's throw this to the ground. I'm really making a mess of it today. I need... Now I hope I did it in the right order. No, probably didn't. So I need this one as one, and I need this one as second. There we go. I need the fire button on this one. Because it has the one flipper on the one button, on the one joystick, and the other on the other joystick. Which is an interesting choice. But as Kurt already mentioned, at the time Tandy only sold them as a set of joysticks, so now I use the I have to exchange the joysticks, of course. use the stick for it. And now I use one joystick button on the one joystick for the right flipper and one on the other joystick for the left flipper. You tired never. Indeed, Curtis. That was an option. In this case, I'm just holding two different controllers. But at least it means that I can show this off. Okay, this is not a pinball, of course, as we know in reality, but for a computer from 1980, this is a pretty decent game anyway. They made a variation that at least was fun to play. You could indeed edit your own setup, save them. You can also, if you want, hit the table. I think it's... Or is that the other joystick that you need? One of the joysticks you can actually... by moving it up and down you can... but now it's of course the other joystick that I don't have an analog stick on. So you can actually get it to tilt. I can show that if I don't do this at least. If I'm in time. That means my sticks are now reversed, so I have to use this one here. And now I should be able to tilt it. Am I able to? Yeah, it looks like it does something at least. But if you did that too much, it would actually tilt it. No, I'm not able to yet, it seems. Oh well, I know it's possible. I haven't done it before. What I like is that they didn't try to make a standard pinball table on the screen, which you often saw. Or they made a version of basically Breakout with a bit different look. At least this was somewhat adapted to a computer screen. No, this is the other way around after all, yeah. Then I have to change them back again. And the question is, do I do that in time? There we go. It does work indeed. There we go, I tilted the machine. That's funny, Sigurd. As you can see, you can easily tilt the machine this way. We need... Why do I keep forgetting? On some systems I don't have to do that, but this core works a bit different than I'm used to from other systems. Now Polaris didn't have special instructions for me. Nope. Or did it? No, that's the one, yeah. Here they went a bit of a different way. And I have to swap joystick, it seems. Yes. It's once again analog, but they use the keyboard for firing. And of course I'm too slow now, but the Z, X and the C key for the fire buttons. Oh well. Exactly. I have an analog joystick, thankfully. I could if I wanted, I could bind the keys to the joystick buttons in this case, but I'm a bit late there, but thankfully it doesn't work. Yep, all 8 colors. This is called Polaris. It's of course based on what is it? Saying City Defense, but that's not it. It's a different name. It's a pretty decent version of Missile Defense. That's the name I was looking for. That's the original version. But in this case, it's called Polaris. Hi, Mitchy Black. Welcome in. Sorry, I just realized it was a new name. Missile Command Pixels indeed. But there are a lot of versions of this on home computers that don't work well because they try to do it all with one fire button, and this is actually one of the more playable ones. Exactly. As Curtis also mentions there. And I've played a lot of versions of this. I do have a bit of an issue once again that I can't reach the corners, because as you will see, if I go all the way down to the bottom and now go left, this corner I cannot get to. That's once again the problem with modern analog sticks. They have even the bomb in there, which I hadn't expected actually. Yeah, if you compare this to, say, the Atari version, once again, the Atari 2600, this is way more fun. And that was the wrong key. Yeah, the bombs get smarter specifically. But yeah, you can see I played this. Oops, that was a bit too late. Yeah, I'm gonna lose this. And yes, they are smart bombs because they move out of the way at times. And there. Yes, because you have indeed the 3 buttons and use the wrong button there. And that would be the end of the game because all my cities are destroyed. I agree, Pixels. Now I could try something. No, this is the wrong one. Menu holders cancel. I wonder how well this would work. Define the 3 buttons on my controller. And of course I did that wrong. Yeah, I just made a mistake by also remapping the primary button, which is not a smart idea, of course. What I can do though is do it a bit different. This one for the Z, this one for the C, this one for the X. Now, what do I do to restart this? Not sure. Okay, 1 player. Let's see if that makes a difference. Yeah, that works at least. The advance of modern technology, you can actually change stuff. Although it's hard to control. Because I'm using shoulder buttons. And combined with an analog stick, you are moving a bit when you press the shoulder button, I guess. But it does make it a lot more playable. I now have my B button defined as the middle as the C. What is the X? And the shoulder buttons for the Z. Okay, I was too late there, but yeah, I like this version. If I were to play more though, I would probably use my arcade stick, because that's more suitable for this, and I have more buttons on there on the main thing. Ah, see, I can't reach that corner. That's a bit of a problem. But yeah, this comes so close to yeah, with the trackball, it comes close to the original. Ah, yeah, that one. I've played that one too, Curtis. It wasn't my favorite indeed. It wasn't a bad game, but this one's better. Oops. Not gonna make that. It's a well-made game. They had to do a bit of a trick, of course, with the buttons, but apart from that... Yeah, the sound is a little off. There were 1 or 2 games which I actually wanted to play on this core. Was one of them. Can't think of which one now, but I had to go to the real CoCo core, as it's called by Roger, because the sound on this was really bad. I have to make sure that my player assignment is correct. Yes, if I want to do this very well, I would need 2 sticks. I agree. But I can do at least the target practice with 1 stick if it's on the right side. Of course, it's the wrong way around. Why would it not be? And that's a problem that a lot of games, of these 3D between quotes games have. They need an extra stick for speed. Exactly, the thrust is something I don't have available now. And there's something I wish the core would allow me to do, but it doesn't. I wish it would allow me to put the right stick on the second analog stick on the controller, but that's not allowed. It only allows one stick to be emulated on one controller. Otherwise, it would be possible to do it, because you have multiple fire buttons, so it could be an option. But this does show that, yeah, there were some decent, quick fast games. Yeah, I know that. I'm not even going to go there. I just do a bit of target practice. To just show how fluent this could work. Yeah, we won't say anything about games being cloned without official licenses and such. Because we will see a few more of those later on. And then it seemed to crash, which was not the plan. No worries, Rata. Thanks for coming by. Always nice to see you. And hope to see you again on Saturday and or Sunday, where my next streams are. Now, let's see if this works. Yeah. Keyboard, I think. Now, Joystick works with this one decently. Now, this is a kind of an interesting name, Roman Checkers, because I know this. Welcome back, Aniva. I know this under a completely different name. I'm pretty sure there will be more. Exactly. Othello Reversi. And of course, the joystick has to be swapped again. Ah, and this one, okay. A little bit of different graphics. I'm not sure if I can change level, but at the default level it is beatable. I do want a good old-fashioned analog joystick at some point. Okay, that should give me this corner. And there's a problem. I cannot reach that corner. Let me see. So I have a problem now. I have to restart this. I hope it works in one go. Nope. I have to use the keyboard after all. Yep. Which I'm gonna do now. I knew there was a reason why I used keyboard the first time. But I want a real analog joystick and preferably two of them. But they aren't cheap. Actually, Teal, I could, because I made sure I could. That was what I played for, that corner. Nope. Yeah, get it. The corners is usually a winning strategy, going for the corners. I'm having some problem with this tactic at the moment. Okay, that at least should help. Okay, I may have made a mistake then, Till. I thought I had it correct, but even so, I would need at some point to reach the corner, so... Let's see what we have here. That's okay. Not having my best game ever. To say the least. Yeah, I usually play better than this. Yes. Let's try one more time. Okay, this is interesting. It had a bit of problem building the screen there. Let's see if we can do better, because I'm normally pretty decent. How do you mean, Buck? There we go. Now I got a corner. I guess so, yeah. Something like that. Or eagles and Romans, I guess. They call it Roman checkers, so... But we all know it under a different name, of course. Let's block this out. That's nice of you. Now, I guess they're supposed to be eagles, given that it's Roman theme. He's being nice to me now. I've seen worse computer opponents. I've also seen stronger ones, but... And this should normally have given me the game. My opponent has a bit of a problem now, of course. And he knows that I win. Okay, well, you got the idea. It's an old game, but I've seen worse versions. Oh, this actually works without restarting the core. I go for simple controls because otherwise it's really unplayable for me. Let's see if it works this time. Yeah, it does. I like this game. I like the whole look of this game. I can actually... other stick. Of course the sticks have to be swapped. Yeah. They don't try to put the skier in there. They just put a little dot at the bottom. That's your skier. And you can actually brake and you can speed up. Yeah, it's a very nice illusion of speed. And basically, of course, it's an old-fashioned game, but the whole thing looks 3D. They actually even have a bit of height difference in there and everything. I think this actually, for such an early game, this is probably one of the best skiing games I've seen this early on microcomputers. This is very well made, actually. Yes, you can, but you get a lot of errors then on your account there on the right. In this case, I missed 3 gates, it seems. Well, you could have done a lot worse than those 2 games, Curtis, that's for sure. And you can actually make your own course in this one too. It actually, oh no, it does create a different course, that's it, yeah. So you can't so much set, but it does a randomized course that changes. I missed that gate, clearly. And I missed, no, I just got that one. This one. Yeah, this is very, very well made. I missed that one. As you can hear by the sound. The sound is somewhat limited, but at least there's some sound. I missed that one, went too far. Oops, went too far again. Or too early. But this is actually quite playable, even with the modern controller. Because basically, yes, it's an analog stick, but it uses it as a mostly left-right, just standard. And it's not so much a position you work for. That makes it a bit easier, even with the modern controller. Yeah, no pics. This is so impressive, huh? We didn't see anything like this even on the Spectrum this early on. Oh boy. And then we got a raid. Hi, Graham and traders. I'm not sure if I have a mod in at the moment. So I may have to do my own shout out. No, I do have a mod in. Thank you, Teal. How was your stream, Graham? You were playing retro, of course. What were you playing today? I hope you had a good stream. For those who don't know me, my name is Frodo, FrodoNL. I mostly play retro games. But I also do some modern games these days. Ah, you were doing Ant stream today. Nice, Graham. And yeah, today I'm doing a bit older games, and my camera is off again, I noticed. I have to check that later on, but oh well. Today I'm playing games on the CoCo, the Tandy Color Computer from 1980. I'm playing them on the Mr. FPGA. And the game we're looking at right now is Skiing from 1980. And this game, as I just mentioned, I found very impressive. For a 1980 game, This is not something I expected this early on any home computer, let alone the CoCo, which was not exactly known for its color palette and screen options, so they made the best of what they had, but they did that very well, I think. Ah, you have to leave, Single Davy. That's a shame, but thanks for coming by, mate. Have a good one. But the whole illusion of the speed, of the hills, everything, it just works. Ah, I missed that one. Okay, took it out too far. Oops. See you later, Davey. Hope to see you soon. Have a good one. Ah, went too far there. But this is one I will keep in mind. I wonder if and how this could be done. Yeah, of course, that's something you have to get used to. Yeah, complex, you get a bit more options. But I really like this game. It's a lot of fun, and it's something I will have a look at. I wonder if it should be able to be done on the Spectrum, for instance, too. But I haven't seen anything like this on the Spectrum. Okay, now I'm not 100% sure if the sound on this one will be perfect, but we'll see. Ah, joystick is the right one in one go. This is a bit weird for me still to play this with an analog stick, because you set your joystick at a position instead of just going left and right as you would on most systems. Okay. Yeah, that was really good, Frodo. Oops. Yeah, that was the farting game. Okay. I see why, yeah. But it's a nice game. It's a well-made version. I will never be a fan of using an analog stick in this way for games like this, but that's something, okay, you know. Yep. I just want to see if I can make it through more than one level for a change. Not this way, if I run straight into a bullet, of course, but yeah, it's a bit too fast, but it's not a bad game at all. And of course, this has nothing to do with Space Invaders whatsoever. Eh? Oops. The last shot is always the hardest. But yeah, I like what they did with this one. It's a very decent game. Once again, you have a limited palette, you have a limited resolution, but it works. If you had slowed it down a little bit. And once again, we have to keep in mind, these are early games, very early games. Okay, pigs. I will be here for at least an hour more, so I hope you will be back then. Have a good luck. We're gonna go tennis. Now, once again, I play as a beginner, cause basically this is also a variation on Pong, of course. Masquerading as tennis. And there are some issues with this one. Even though it's a single player, they don't count the double the tennis of the rail, the tracks as out, which is I couldn't think of the word there. So you have to do the whole field, even though it's single player. They clearly had to come up with something, a theme, and they thought, let's just call it tennis, so it's not just your standard Pong. See, that shouldn't be counted as in, but it counts as in this version. I don't even have to hit the button, I just have to stand there basically. So it's just a bat masquerading as a player with a racket. I'm not sure if it makes it different from expert, but as it is, yeah. It's Pong. There's nothing wrong with Pong. Pong is a fun game to do at times. It's not something you would want to play full time, but every now and again it's fun. I can check that in a moment on expert. That would make it a little bit more of a game, of a demanding game, but as it is now, you can see I can just stand there, just move a bit. In any real tennis game, I would never stand this close to the net on a computer, because well, that was a miss anyway, but okay, that's a nice one actually, coach. I didn't know that because, of course, I don't have a second player here. I'm all alone and lonely. But that's actually a nice option. So you could, for instance, play that with a younger nephew or something, or younger brother, and both still have a chance. I knew you would react, hon. We'll play one game on beginner level, and then we'll try one on expert, see how much harder it is. That's interesting. It doesn't do advantage. It just goes from deuce to win. Let's reload the cartridge and see if it what happens on expert. Yeah, now indeed I have to hit the button, otherwise it seems to go by. Let me double check that. Yeah. So now it's also timing, which makes a difference indeed. It makes it harder to play. It's a nice game actually, simple but nice. Yeah, it looked a little bit faster too. But yeah, those are the last ones of the ones we have on the CoCo 2 core. And we will now go to the so-called real CoCo core. Because that one has a disk drive emulation, which the CoCo 2 core does not have. Yeah, let's just start with the top one. I have, of course, to do a few things now. I hope I have the right joystick. No, of course I have to swap controllers. If it wants to react at all. Or did I not have to? Was this not control? Let me check, cause does it react to controller or do I need keyboard? I never know for sure. Keyboard it looks like. No. I have actually tried the games, but for some reason I don't remember the keys now. Ah yeah, you have to wait for this. This is nice and slow. Right joystick. Okay, then I probably have to swap them. Yeah. I think I've seen grabber before. This is something you saw earlier and I forgot about it. Yeah, this is done in basic as Curtis says, and it takes a bit of time. It finds it necessary to keep the text on time quite a bit. That's a good one actually, Curtis. Was it 65497,0? Oh, I hit reset. Yeah, I got it. Hi, Taki Roche. Welcome in. Yeah. How are you doing, Taki Roche? It helps to have experts on the system in chat when you are trying stuff. I actually have another way also to make it speed up, of course. But then it really gets bad. Because I can speed up the CPU on that is made here. I'm trying to understand what you're asking there, Takirosh. Is Tandy the what? So we have to go through this screen for a bit. But yeah, it goes a lot quicker now. I have to reset on myself because I sat on my bike yesterday and today and I noticed that there's something apart from a few weeks ago I haven't done a lot lately, so I have to every now and again move around a bit. Okay, we're ready for the game, please. Ah, okay. Now, the Tandy was US based. Yeah, it would have been nice, eh? Wouldn't it, Curtis? Of course, it is basic, so one could edit it and change it a bit, but yeah. Yeah, we have joysticks. And of course, I have to unswap them. So we want the guards to open gates for us. Without them catching us. Ah, timing is wrong. Of course I get hit. But yeah, welcome in, Takuros. It's yeah, the Tandy Color Computer, 1980. It's well, you can see it's a very early computer, and for the time it oops. Got lucky this time. Uh-oh. Unless I'm very lucky now. What's that guard going to do? I know I have another problem though. I have a guard too close and the doors are locked. So yeah, I got caught, but well, it's a fun game, written in BASIC. As can be seen, it starts with the go-to. I think I can do this to and this one, yeah. So it's simple basic, but it's playable, and we've seen enough basic games that were not playable, but this is yeah, it just works. Now thankfully, because it's basic, I can just do this probably and go to the next game. Now, I know I don't always have to do it, but I'm just so used to doing the RGB command, so I just do it just in case. Oh, colors. And I have to white joystick in one go. Yep, this is not the original screen as it would be seen on a CoCo 3, because the CoCo 3 could not show the graphics of this game correctly. Oh, duh. Oops. Yeah, I'm not gonna make that. At least I got one in. There we go. And these opponents are way too smart. They basically have the same issue I had with my Pac-Man that I once wrote for the Timex Cycle 1000. They come for you too quickly. This is called Cave Hunter. Of course, it also doesn't help that I have no experience with the game. I mean, sure, Curtis could do a lot better, but, well, I'm afraid you're stuck with me today. Okay, where are all the opponents going today? Are we coming toward? Ah, I was too slow there. I completely forgot about that option, Curtis. Thank you, Buck, for asking, cause... But yeah, they are a bit too smart, really. But it's a fun game. It is cute. Now, I'm gonna try this. Actually, it worked this time, so we'll see what happens when I start the next game. Look, this is what I like when people learn about games they didn't know before and they actually want to try it. Another basic game. Yeah, I know, cuz I keep forgetting to do that. No, I don't need instructions, I think. I just hope I have to write just give it a factor, doesn't matter. I hope I have to write stick. Yeah, I do. No, I don't. Looks like. Or do I? Yeah, I do. Oops. Well. I wasn't moving up, I thought, but... Yeah, now it does. No, it basically works digital, Curtis, of Buck. It depends on how long you hold it. It's a very standard moonlander. Oh, did I go too quick there? Yeah, I guess so. I was still going too fast. You blew it, cadet. We'll try one more time. I have done a successful landing earlier. I want to go for the 10 this time. I like how it goes for a close-up once you get close to the landing spot. I know I'm getting close on fuel. Yeah, I'm out of fuel probably. I think I'm still going too fast, but it might be okay, just. Nope, was still too fast. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it's a nice version actually. If I compare it to say a lot of the. No, you don't. You just land and that's all. No, let me try and think. This is, yeah. It helps if you type the right thing. Not sure if I need to, but we'll see. Ah, yes, I can only swap. I can't switch them off in this case. That's a bit of a difference compared to the CoCo 2 core, where I can switch them off. Now, let's see. I had a bit of problem starting this the other day. It's supposed to react to the fire button, but we'll see what happens after the screen has been built up. Yeah, but I cannot switch off artifacts in this one, which is a bit of a shame. I wish Roger would put that in, the option to disable artifacts. I'm not sure which control. Ah, it's this one, okay. It's a bit of a basic version of Defender, called Offender. But it works quite well. But yeah, you would want, oops, you would want you have to keep an eye also on your fire, because you have a okay, not sure what happened there. Yeah, your gun can overheat, but I'm not sure why this happened, because I have no idea either. Maybe that there was something left behind. Yeah, there was something left behind the memory from earlier. Okay, what we do then is we hope that everything goes okay. After a reboot, that you can still hear me. Yeah, the microphone is still working, because sometimes you lose the microphone when I do that reset. And we try again. As something I mentioned from the start, there is that risk sometimes with this core. The cores are quite good, but they are clearly not meant to use multiple games in a row. Why do I even do RGB on this one? It doesn't help work on this one. It's such an automatic thing to do these days when I do a CoCo game on the score. Exactly. That's why I'm so used to it by now. Okay. Oops. And my gun is overheated. I have to wait now. And sometimes the stick doesn't react perfectly, but... Well, I've seen worse versions of Defender. But there is something wrong with this, clearly, because it locks up for some reason. Which is a shame. I have not had that happen before. I don't know exactly what's causing this. I probably didn't have to do the RGB command on this one, but yeah. This, of course, has nothing whatsoever to do with a famous game. Nothing at all. And I'm pretty sure that Buck Owens will agree with me that there is an issue here. The ghost goes through that hallway just as quick as Pac-Man does. That just is wrong. And I agree that sound stinks too. But if that was the worst error they made, I wouldn't be too upset about it. But when you go through the hallway, the ghost has to go slower, because that's the way to escape from the ghost. I like the graphics, though, that it shows. The way they made the ghost. Ah! That was too quick. Let's try this one more time. And remember, this is supposed to be the easy mode. Let's at least get some bonuses. Ah, that timing was bad. That was unlucky. Probably about half a second later. I'm not doing too well on this. It's noticeable Wen isn't here, because I would have had a lot of oopses already otherwise. One last try. I absolutely like what they did with the graphics. That's just good use of your limited options. That's something we've seen for a number of games now, that people at least use the graphics well. Can I make that? Yes. Now I should be able to at least finish the level. And that was my main goal in this round. There we go. Ah, bummer. Yeah, I think we've seen one other game before today that was also using this graphics mode, wasn't there? Trying to think now which one it was, but... So I thought there was another game earlier in the stream that uses the same graphics mode, but I might be wrong. May also have been one that I checked out, but in the end didn't add. I'm not 100% sure now. Cave Hunter, that was it, yeah. Oops. Okay, well, at least we finished two screens. I didn't mess up completely, at least. That's something. For an early version, this isn't bad, but yeah, there are just a few things missing. Yeah, sure, Curtis. Of course. Nah, my name would never have been in there, unlike a certain L. Curtis Boyle, who I know has been... See, there's a problem. It did not clear the memory, but thankfully I have a different trick. If I set it to 1 MB, it uses different memory, so then I can use it without having to reset the whole thing this time. Okay, yeah, this was the one that wouldn't work, or that would work on the CoCo 2 core, but had very bad sound. So I had to go once again for the so-called real CoCo core. Because otherwise you had a constant buzzing sound going on which was very irritating. And let me guess. No, also not. Ah, enter. Okay, we'll see which one it is now. This one, okay. Ah. And here the analog stick is important to have a better analog stick. As you see, it misses too easily. It basically skips from there to there. I'm unable to stay in that one position, which is a shame, but I wonder if I can try something. No, that wouldn't work. One thing I can try. I have another controller which has a bit more, has more levels in between. Let's see, I will probably have to, okay, has to reset player assignment, then do this one. Let's see if it makes a difference, or if I have the same issue there. No, same issue. I cannot stay in that position. Okay, it was worth a try. So it's a bit of a shame because it's a fun kind of game. It's kind of interesting because I do think I actually made it further earlier, but for some reason it just won't. Okay, I can do something. If you don't mind a bit of a weird sound, because I'm pretty sure that this is a core problem more than a stick problem. But for that, I need to go in here. What was it called again? Popcorn. Get the cartridge. Ah. And we will probably get a weird sound now, but with a bit of luck, it will still work. Did we have to exchange joysticks? Ah. I always forget to not use the analog for that section. No. I know we had to hit enter first, yeah, and then we could use the joystick. That's also such a useful thing. And that's the other one, okay. I keep hitting the wrong key. There we go. And here I can. But you hear the issue with the sound there. We had the same issue with, what was that 3D maze game that we had, a CoCo challenge for a while ago. That also had that same issue with the sound. So that this core is not perfect yet. I'm sorry about the sound, but at least I can show the game this way. Imagine this without the irritating buzzing sounds. And it actually becomes a decent game. That starts off not too hard. And even is playable with a modern analog stick, as you can see. demands a bit of concentration, of course, but now this CoCo 2 core is still relatively new, and I'm sure they will change a lot in it, but for now it sort of works. I missed one there. Boomer. That might well be the issue indeed, Curtis, so I'm actually, it's one of the things I haven't done yet, but I want to bring this up to the guys making this score, that if they could have a look at this, because this is a shame, because as you can see, for the rest it works perfectly. It works better than Roger's score with the analog stick. Yeah, low volume is one thing, but this is not low volume droning sound, eh? So there's clearly something wrong there, but as long as you ignore the sound, it's actually a pretty fun game. It gives one a lot of practice with positioning the analog stick. I cannot read chat at the moment. This goes a bit too quick to read chat, so I will check in a bit. No, I didn't play Avalanche, I think. Okay. I'll save you the rest of this, because this gets irritating, that sound, after a while. But at least it showed the game itself, and once again, memory isn't cleared on this one. That's okay, we got our tricks. After Popcorn, we have 3 games left. Yeah, we go for Slashball. This is another basic game, if I remember correctly. I could have done 1 again, I know. 1, of course, not exact. Jeez. Yes, what was the control? Ah, yeah. Let's do level 1. So you have to get... Yeah, this is too easy, of course. Okay, now I have to try and get... It helps if I do it correctly. And I'm doing it wrong. There we go. The thing to the center. You basically have you have 3 keys. The S to serve. And then you have to... I made a mess there. To use the right one, of course, and I used the wrong one there. And now we're stuck. It's a simple basic game. You have to try and get the ball to the center. And I won't succeed in this case. And there's a timeout, and of course. (1981) Aardvark. Yeah, this is a bit more basic. Well, literally, of course. That's a fun little game. Yep, I know he did. But that was just a quick one. Hey, what did I do wrong? IE error, probably a memory issue. What I can try is go to... No, I have to reboot the CoCo. That sometimes happens. My microphone is still working, I see. Thankfully, I can see my levels. I had to reboot less than I expected to. Let's see if it doesn't now. Yeah, see, there was indeed an issue with memory not being clear. I don't remember the keys, so I will hope that it will work with joystick, and we'll see which joystick I need. Okay, one. Now this is an interesting control, because it uses the analog joystick, and depending on how far you move the joystick, is how far the ship will turn. So it basically looks, you use the joystick more or less as a... Well, you use the potentiometer of the joystick basically to position, to give the direction. Yeah, down for shield indeed, and up for push. And do I have to... Yeah, I have to hit a key for it to... It's a bit of a weird way if you're not used to this way of playing, but it works, I guess. Once again, playing with an analog joystick. It's a bit weird because now I am all the way to the right, and I have to go all the way to the right, to the left to go to the next position. Oops, I forgot about the rock behind me. Yeah, I probably should have played it with keyboard instead. I'm not sure if there were special keys, because this is just weird. But it's a decent looking game. The artifacting should be off again, which is why I would have loved to play this on the CoCo 2 core again. Can I change to keyboard now? No, I probably have to. Let's see what it does. Sometimes this works. Yeah, exactly. I'm guessing. Okay. Ah, yeah. The problem is that the keys are wrong on this one. Yeah, D and F are left and right indeed. But your cursor left is thrust. Ah, yeah, that was the wrong timing. Space for, and cursor right is fire. It's a bit weird. Yeah, exactly. That was a completely different keyboard layout. So nowadays, of course, that looks a bit weird, but it works. if once you're used to it, I guess. But it takes a bit of getting used to. I actually think I like this more than I like Microbes, although Microbes wasn't bad either, but this is... Oh, I thought that would just miss me. Whoops. Yeah, I always forget the shields. But thankfully... That's because the version of Asteroids I used to play didn't have shields. I'm just glad it does have auto fire, so I don't have to hit fire all the time. But yeah, this is a fun version. Very playable once you're used to the keys. Microbes was a bit too fast at times. A bit too hectic. This starts off at a decent playable level. I'm sure it will be more hectic after a while too. Yeah, if I had the ROM cartridge, I would have done it on the CoCo 2, of course, but I didn't. So I went for the disc version in this case, which of course was originally a cassette version, I'm sure. Do I remember correct, Curtis, that to get a cartridge they would have to basically get the cartridge from Tandy themselves? Because I don't assume that Tandy open sourced the cartridge model, eh? Oh, did their own, okay. Yeah, I actually used the shield correctly there, Curtis. Are you proud of me? And that was just later. I'm so not used to having a shield in Asteroids. But you also notice that I tend to not move. I'd rather wait for it to come within reach than move, because it's too easy to lose control when moving. Now in this case I can actually, because it's so damn close. Okay. I like actually that the thrust here automatically stops. In some versions you start moving and it doesn't stop moving. It just keeps moving. This one is just a temporary thrust and it comes to a standstill. That makes it a bit better to do. Yeah, that was bad timing, Frodo. Come on. Then we do it that way. That's another way to play this, I guess, Cat Lord, but... There we go. Yeah, people did the weirdest things with games. Well, they still do, of course. There's actually something I've been wondering, Curtis, whether or not I should at some point do an MC10 first year off, but given that there's basically, as far as I know, mostly only basic games, I'm not sure if that would really work, but I would want to talk with someone who is a bit more knowledgeable about MC10 before I decide on that. Okay, well, we will go to the last game in this section, and of course I have to reset and probably won't do it correctly. Nope, that's what I thought. So we go for a bit more memory, so it does reset exactly. Yeah, I know. Lately there's been a lot of good stuff coming out for the MC10, eh? I do at some point want to do a CoCo 3 first year off with CoCo 3 only games. Level 1 for now. Okay, I got to... And I forgot to do RGB, I think. It's not really a problem. Yeah, because I would of course go for the CoCo 3 only games, so not ones that were also suitable for CoCo 1 and 2. That came out in that period, but there will be a bit of research still. Oops, I'm not gonna risk that. That became a bit too risky there. Ah, why did I hit the button there? I will never know why, but I did. Duh. Oh, come on. Oops, I thought I could avoid that one. Yeah, this works. Well, I'm actually playing it with the analog stick, but Yeah, I can actually also use D-pad for this one in this case, which is not often the case. Okay, I forgot about that. It also takes D-pad. In this case, it doesn't make that much difference which stick I use. If I use the stick or the D-pad. Oops. I have a weird feeling that pixels took a bit longer than expected. Yeah, I should have done RGB, I agree. Because then you get, if I'm not wrong, yellow and blue. If I remember correctly. Or is it green? Oops. Living too close there. Yeah, that's not at the risk I'm willing to take, those ones. Duh. I can actually see what happens if I do a reset. Now. We can have a quick check, see if it works. Nope, it does it automatically. That's what I mean. It doesn't clean the memory. Very irritating. There are some small issues with those scores still. Let's see it in the... Yeah, I am wanting to, and I keep forgetting. I did do an RGB, but... yeah, I always forget that the other... Yeah, see? You get the yellow instead of the red. Which does indeed look a bit better. Exactly. Yeah, I understand. I saw it in the list of the CoCo sounds at some point. Given that was an early one, Curtis, do you even have to ask, really? The smart bombs are a bit too smart sometimes. I know I wasn't playing the CoCo challenge yet when this one was done, because I was a late edition. And that actually reminds me, I don't think I have done this week's game yet. Haven't had a chance yet, actually. Trying to think what it was this week again. Oh, come on. What is this week's game again, Curtis? Oh, Gazen, yeah, I remember now. I will, by the way, miss this week's CoCo talk. I have another appointment at that time. Yeah, I will be watching a movie with some friends then. We'll actually be watching Frozen 2, which, unlike some people, and I know it's not a popular opinion, I prefer over the original Frozen. Oh, come on. I'm not the best at this kind of game, but yeah, that was stupid. I can play a bit at least. Oops. That's not gonna happen. Ah, that was a bit too quick. Come on. This one was too risky. How did I make it through there? Ah, that was stupid. I hit the button there. Oh well. Hey, Anifa. Yeah, still going. But yeah, this was... I like these kind of games. I know there are people that are way better at this than me. One looks at, for instance, Buck Owens and probably also Curtis. Okay, I need memory cleared. Basically, that completes the list of games that I had listed, but Curtis already mentioned something there, but I will have to go by his advice. Out of this 5, which one would you suggest to me to try out, Catlord Alert or Curtis? And I will do level 9 afterwards. Because I have 5 text adventures available. Which one is the best one or least bad? Yeah, well, I know you would choose the graphic version, but that wasn't out in 1981 or 1980 or 1981. So that's not an option. So then we would go for the text version. Yeah. Because let's be honest, in those days there were a lot of text adventures. I don't have to do RGB in this case. Now, I've never played this one. It's loading from a disk file, so I hope it's the right one. We'll see what happens. I did quickly start all of them, and they did at least start, so... Let's see, in this adventure you'll meet with the force of black magic you must find and destroy this evil to win the game. At times you will find a need for certain items to do things, but a good adventure will be resolved from figure a way around these problems. Happy adventuring. Press any key to continue. To proceed, sorry. We don't have a save game, so... Okay, a cabin in the distance. I see a way to go north, south, west. Can I have no idea what the parser is like. No, okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of next. Go cabin, yes. It's always fun. You have north, west, and east, but if you want to, you can also do go cabin. Let's see if it's take or get. Okay, both work possibly, but it's open. Okay. Yeah. It's always a bit of a test, like what's the parser like, because every parser is different. Jeez. And this is a very early one. If you go towards 86, 87, you had, and 85, you had various adventure creation kits, which made for more stable parsers, but yeah. I'm guessing so, Curtis. Can I do that? Nope. Can I drink it now? Yeah, exactly. Let me see. Yeah, it takes that. Does it do? I know. Inventory then. No. How do I see what I have in this one? Welcome back, pigs. Yeah, okay. Interesting. That's not one I'd seen before. I guess that's more an American adventure kind of thing, because I'm more used, of course, to the British versions. I know usually it was I or inv or inventory, but yeah, okay. I probably need to do ghost stairs. Yeah. A bed with a young woman on it. Yep, look, or sometimes in some versions it's R for repeat. Examine bed. Green sides with white seats and a quilt. I'm not doing it, no worries. Invocare Episcopus, okay. No. What else can I do with the closet? No. Yeah, that was just what I was going to try. Go closet. Okay, so the question is, what do I not need? Is it drop? Yeah. Ah. Can I do that? Yeah, okay. Okay, that's the same thing. Let's try something very weird. Nope, it doesn't. Yes, it does. I guess I've played too many adventures. I realized that a mirror doesn't always have to be a mirror. Now, does it do this? No. Okay, it needs the full sentence goes out and yeah. Yeah, I've played too many in the past, Curtis. When I with examine didn't see anything because there were two options. Either it would say it shows you, or it wouldn't say anything useful, and then it was worth trying to go through it. So we're at Monastery, it seems. It's locked, okay. No. Unlock, we mean, of course. Have no key, okay. We came from the north, so let's go east. Okay. Aha. I first have to take manuscripts, I guess. And I probably get a messed up. Oh no, I thought my inventory would be full. The bishops have succumbed to the plague and has been laid to rest in the crypt. The brothers have elected to close the monastery. Okay. I went north, so let's see what... Oops. Nothing else? I'm in a small room. Not much to do then. We've been here before. Okay. So they basically made this a bit of a maze. Which is a bad thing. This does indeed look like a interesting adventure, Curtis. Thanks for the tip. Ah. Let's just gamble. Yeah, so far it does make sense what I've seen. Yes, that mirror is something you have to kind of know the tricks of the adventures, but... It probably won't allow me that. You have no matches, as expected. I have a weird feeling it would go wrong then. I saw that rope. I thought, given that we're talking black magic, etc., I thought I probably need something. Okay. So I can't get through the doorway. Let's leave that for now and let's have a look. What else we have? Oops. I like, by the way, how quickly it reacts. And then we're back where we were. Okay. This is where we came from, yeah. No. Okay, yeah, so they did make this into a bit of a maze, this one. It's interesting. Now, this is not something I will play completely, of course, because these kind of games take time to play. But I like this game so far. So far it has logic. Most of it makes sense. But yeah, this is not something you do in a short stream like this. Especially given that it's 1 AM here almost. What I will do though is, as someone mentioned there. Yeah, that's what I thought. I will have to reboot the core. Hopefully it's enough to just restart the core. Nope, it isn't. Because it clearly doesn't clear the memory again. So we do a reboot of the Mister. Because there was a popular request, it seems, for me to try level 9 just for fun. And who am I to deny you that pleasure? What was the game again? Starship, eh? It might. That's actually an interesting one. You want me to try level 9, eh? Ah, I see, yeah. I see the issue. Yeah. And I suddenly realized I was actually there for the... for the challenge, because I remember doing this then, also as a test. The trick with level 9 is that you just don't go for everything. You just go for the easy pickings and try to avoid as much as possible what's coming by there. Oh well. But yeah, this is a fun game, absolutely. So you basically want to see a section where there's a number of your color and just hope for the best. Ah, I couldn't avoid that one. And that was so stupid. yeah, I know, Curtis. There are certain sites, and I can't think of the name of one of the sites now. There's one I usually use. There is a very good site that has Casa. It's called. Where is it? But that's not the link. The link is something else, which has a lot of solutions for text adventures. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff there to do. I will have a look at that because it seems a fun adventure. But with all that, as I mentioned, it's 1 a.m. here. Ah, yeah, Adventure Survivors newsletter is the other, yeah. Yeah, I usually go to Casa because they are pretty complete usually, although there are some missing, but they have a lot of the bigger ones at least. Yeah, as I said, 1 a.m. I thank you all for coming by. I enjoyed this. There are some really good games in there, and I guess my biggest surprise was really skiing. However simple that may have seemed, but it's just a game that I had not expected to be on this system. Some of the others, yes, but skiing was, a surprise to me. All in all, not bad for such an old computer. If I compare it to some of the other systems of the same time, they had a few fun games in there with some nice tricks already. Yeah, Quasi Commander was also quite good, but that was a bit more difficult in the situation. But yeah. Thanks again all for coming by. I will be back on Saturday with random games and viewer suggestions. So if anyone has any suggestions, feel free to drop them in my Discord. I have a special section there for it, for game suggestions for streams. Apart from that, I will also be streaming on Sunday again, when I will be doing Jackbox party games. That's a bit later in the day, earlier than today, but later than on Saturday. Feel free to come by then too. That's with audience participation, of course. And then, of course, I will be back again next Thursday too. Thanks all. And we are looking for a raid victim, between quotes. I'm just having a quick look if I can see someone online that is doing something interesting, preferably someone I haven't rated before. I don't see anything in my list, so we go for the standard. That's okay, Teal, no worries. Let's have a look at what's in the retro category, because we like to meet new friends. Let's see. Do we have someone with just a few viewers that might enjoy a visit? Preferably someone streaming in English, of course. Let's have a look. Someone streaming in English with a camera, preferably, doing retro games. I'm sorry, but PS3 console challenge is not retro. It's borderline, but it's not retro yet. I don't know if any one of you has an idea. Someone I could rate. I may have someone here. And I have to check if this is English or not. Probably, but yeah, English. And what are we playing here? Blazing Lasers. Okay. Yeah, let's go for this person. Someone I don't know at all. So I haven't heard them speak or anything, but it says English, so it will probably be English. And given that I have something with a penguin, this name seems an option. Why did that not work? Because I'm doing it in the wrong window again. Why do I do that all the time? Old age, you know? Double checking that I have the right name now, because of course I had to change windows. Okay. Yeah, of course, also thanks specifically today to Curtis for all the support in finding the right games. And if you could please use the rate messages depending on whether you're subscribed or not. I use the first one or the second one. And we go pay a visit to someone I at least haven't seen before. Thanks all. Have a good rest of your day.